and nationwide.
Was that your new one?
4-year-old Phoenix is almost back to her normal self. But just a few weeks ago, her doctor was so concerned about her health, she was sent to the emergency room at Mission.
She wouldn't eat, wouldn't do nothing.
Her mom, Tiffany, panicked, but she says the hospital staff seemed to do the opposite.
Everything was really looking not good with the labs, and nobody could give us answers. And it seemed like nobody at the hospital really wanted to help.
Tiffany says after blood work, they were sent home with labs that showed a diagnosis of hepatitis A. But days later, she found out that was a mistake.
And then the call from the health department was like, no, they didn't test for hepatitis. They tested to see if she had the vaccine. And that's kind of like, I think my heart just dropped, honestly.
Tiffany says she cried, feeling hopeless, unsure what was wrong with her daughter.
So this whole time she was like suffering, and she was in clear pain. But there was like no fluids, no nausea medicine, nothing at all was done.
She later learned that Phoenix had mono.
They need to do better. They need to do better. It's not that I'm saying that it's the horrible hospital and I just don't want them here. I just want them to do better.
It's an experience echoed in this 87-page lawsuit filed last month. 6 plaintiffs share their stories about Mission Health. Will Overfelt, the Asheville resident who started a Facebook group for those concerned about the hospital, says he saw firsthand through his father's treatment that the quality of care was clearly worse after HCA bought Mission. Jonathan Powell of Morganton says his doctor left because HCA overwhelmed him with so many patients. We asked Mission about what happened to Phoenix, but were told the hospital couldn't comment. The hospital tells us they also can't comment on the pending lawsuit. In a statement, a spokesperson said in part, Mission Hospital cares for hundreds of our community members each day, and our goal is for each and every person to receive compassionate, quality care. But besides complaints over how Mission cares for its patients, the class action lawsuit also claims that the hospital has been a growing monopoly for years, resulting in higher healthcare prices for everyone living in the mountains.
I'll tell you one thing that I think is immediately consequential about this lawsuit. The people of Western North Carolina now know, or should know, that they pay more for health care than they should. That's part of the complaint.
We sat down with Duke University law professor Brock Richman, who specializes in antitrust healthcare law and has been following the hospital's history closely.
This has been something that's been brewing for a long time, and it's only been getting bigger.
The lawsuit walks through Mission's past, back to 1995, when the hospital merged with the only other major hospital in Asheville, St. Joe's. That move could have violated the antitrust law since it created a monopoly with no competition. But North Carolina passed a special measure allowing the deal, what's called a Certificate of Public Advantage, or COPA. The lawsuit claims the regulation was supposed to protect patients against higher health care costs, but in 2016, it expired.
This, I think, proves definitively, both the increase of prices and the subsequent sale to a for-profit entity, that the COPA wasn't a good idea. And my reaction was, I'm sad, but I'm not surprised.
The lawsuit says that even under the COPA, Mission bought more hospitals and practices to build an unprecedented empire while hiding the growing costs to patients. According to the lawsuit, a year later, secret negotiations began with HCA.
I think that the value of Mission to HCA increased dramatically after the COPA ended. And that's just simple economics.
Richmond believes that's when the hospital's power and prices jumped dramatically.
We have a monopoly that, at least temporarily, was blessed by the state. But then we saw monopolistic, arguably illegal conduct after the COPA ended.
The lawsuit includes 4 counts: violation of state antitrust law, attempted monopolization, restraint of trade, and injunctive, equitable, and declaratory relief. What do you think are the chances that this lawsuit could be successful?
So I think it depends on what you mean by success. I think that the likely course, the most likely course, and I'm prognosticating now, is that there will be some kind of settlement. And the devil will be in the details.
Richmond says Mission could be forced to follow different contract pricing practices, which could also send a powerful signal to other hospital monopolies.
what happens in Asheville really could have an impact nationwide.
Back to Phoenix's case, we had reached out to Mission about her experience. Her mom tells us just today she was able to meet with several Mission Health leaders. Tiffany Grankowski tells us, I feel the people with Mission were genuinely apologetic about what happened and took the feedback to make some real changes. She said Mission plans to put new procedures in place so that what happened to her daughter doesn't happen again. Karen Zakalak, News 13.
And the next step is for Mission to respond to the lawsuit through court. Then a judge will decide if the case will move forward.
Tomorrow at 6, we look into the lawsuit's data about Mission's prices and do our own comparison.